is the most famous part of Aretha's version.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard them say. They used to heed the words he said, but that was yesterday. Gold will turn to gray and youth will fade away. They'll never care about you, call you holding in the way.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. I'm going to go back to a format that I started about a month ago, a series of videos I want to do called Who Did It Better? This was not much of a contest for most people, but a lot of people don't realize that Otis Redding, the man on the screen, actually wrote the song Respect. It came out as a single in 1965 and did have some decent chart performance. It was almost immediately stolen by Arethra Franklin, who began performing it in her concerts. And then in 1967, she put out her own version of it, which became her signature song. I think it's a very interesting comparison, the two approaches. Otis is a man, and he's definitely asking for respect from his woman. And of course, Aretha is a woman, and she wants respect from her man. There's a world of difference in that approach. But let's start with Otis performing this live at the Monterrey Pop Festival in June of 1967. That was really Otis's coming out to a larger audience to a great degree. He had been, on the charts mainly as on soul charts and black music charts. But this is the first time he was seen by a much wider audience.
This is another one of mine. Song we like to do for everybody. Love Cry. This song is a song that a girl took away from me. Good friend of mine. This girl, she just took this song, but I'm still gonna do it anyway. What you want, honey, you got it. What you need, baby, you got it. All I'm asking for the respect that I get home.
So right away, much more driving beat, driven by that bass playing. Incredible bass here by, I believe, Donald Dunn, who was on the original recording, part of Steve Cropper Band down in Muscle Shoals area. You'll notice that Aretha changed some of the lyrics to fit her female view of the song.
Hey little girl, you're sweet looking honey. I'm about to give you all of my money. All I want you to do is give it the respect when I get home. Hey, 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 ooh, Lord. Hey little girl, you're sweet looking honey. I'm about to give you all of my money. All I'm asking, hey, the respect when I get home. Hey, 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 ooh, Lord. Hey little girl, you're sweet looking honey. I'm about to give you all of my money. All I want you to do is give it the respect when I get home. Hey, 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 respect what I want. That's right. Otis honey, and I'm about to give you all of my money. All I'm asking, hey, the respect when I get home. Hey, 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 now, ooh, Lord. Hey, little girl, you're sweet little honey. I'm about to give you all of my money. All I want you to do is give it to respect when I get home. Hey, 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 respect what I want. Respect is what I need. Respect is what I want. Respect is what I need. Got to have it. Got to have it. Got to got to. Respect, baby, respect. Respect, baby, respect. Everything I want, give it to me. What I need, baby, give it to me. Give it to me. Sock it to me. Sock it to me, mama. Sock it to me. Respect, yeah. Respect. Respect, yeah. Respect.
goes in a bow to Aretha, who he said at the beginning stole his song. He added the line "Sock it to me," which I don't believe was in the original. So that was a little tip of the hat to Aretha, who had a much bigger hit with this song. This maybe represents the old-fashioned view where a man went out and worked hard and came home and gave all his money to his wife, and all he wanted was a little respect. Some people think the respect in Otis's version is a synonym for something more carnal, where Aretha elevates respect to a civil right or a feminist right. That's the original with some slight modifications. Otis was such a talent. He was 26 years old here when in this performance, and he didn't survive the year. He was killed in a plane crash at the end of 1967. A tremendous loss to the music world. Just imagine what he might have been capable of doing. I mean, already his body of work is just amazing. There's an interesting little talk to the crowd here at Monterrey in between songs as he's getting ready for the next song, which is included on this video. So I'll play that as well.
We'd like for you to kind of, we're going to slow it down this time and sing a soulful number. This song is a song that, we all ought to sing sometime. This is the love crowd, right? We all love each other, don't we? Am I right? Let me hear you say yeah! All right.
So that was a bow to the peace and love crowd assembled there at Monterrey in June of 1967, which was considered the summer of love. Monterrey was the first big pop festival and kind of set the standard for all the ones that were to come. So now we'll move on to the song that Aretha stole and made her own. So I found this very rare recording. It looks to be maybe the Ed Sullivan show because he does a cameo at the very end. But it features Aretha singing the songs on the streets of New York City. Now, it's actually the soundtrack from her Signal has been dubbed over, so you can hear the whole thing, but it's amazing to see a very young Aretha lip-syncing the song. Not for nothing is Aretha known as the Queen of Soul. I don't think there's been a better voice in the last 50 years or more. What a talent, and so great to see her at this young age and all the vibrance and enthusiasm that she has for this song. Just beautiful. Give me my propers when you get home. I don't think that's a word that was in the original song either. She's obviously turned the whole song on its head, and although there is the element of the interpersonal wine respect, wine her propers, may be a slang term for a sexual relationship. But she's flipped the song now into a feminist song. People don't hear that undertone of the personal. They hear the universal. They hear women demanding respect. It became an anthem of the feminist movement in the 70s and beyond. That is the most famous part of Aretha's version, which obviously did not appear in Otis's, where she stops and spells out R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. And then the background singers, which actually were a couple of her sisters who arranged this part, are singing "Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me." And that became a catchphrase. She was on a television show, laughing to great effect. People loved that "sock it to me" line, and it became part of the lexicon.
Wasn't she sensational, baby? Just great. Wasn't she?
She is great. She
really
is great.
I'm not sure what that was at the end there. The second gentleman was Ed Sullivan. It almost like the first gentleman looked like he was doing an impression of Ed Sullivan. He may be a comedian out there pretending to be Ed Sullivan. I gotta think that this was made for a TV show. I don't know if it was the Ed Sullivan show or maybe somebody else's show. But what a unique version of the song to have her singing it and dancing. A noticeably slimmed down Aretha from what she became in later years. She could move. I don't think it's going to be much of a contest as far as who did it better. I think Aretha will win this in a landslide. So it's one of those cases where the cover is better than the original, but let's give Otis his respects, his props too, because he created this song, and maybe it's not one of his best known songs, but he deserves an asterisk on Aretha's Hall of Fame recording, which has been rated the #1 song by Rolling Stone ever. The #1 song ever in respect. So that's a lot of respect for Aretha. And of course, she deserved every bit of it.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard them say. They used to heed